Hello and welcome to my first ever episode of Drawing Your OCs! Yippee! Woo! Yay! Crowd cheers! Put sound effects here or something. I'm Ruiware and I am a VTuber. And I would also consider myself an artist. Now, I do have a bit of a problem when it comes to art, and that is I lack consistency. My goal is to make me fluctuate my skills a little less. Because my artistic capabilities, my efficiency, and all the other factors that I have, they all need some form of improvement. So aside from having fun redrawing your OCs in my style, it is to improve myself, which is the main goal here. The idea here is that for every Draw Your OC video I do, I pick a specific theme to improve myself upon. As this is the first episode, it will be simple bust-ups. And even more so, I'm giving myself a time limit of 3 hours for each of these. All the arts I've shown you already are works that I've spent about 6 to 10 hours on each, at the minimum. Improving upon efficiency is most definitely one of my goals here. So what better way to do it than to give back to my absolutely amazing community. The first one I have here is submitted by my friend and fellow VTuber, Yuki Bangan, which you should all check out, by the way. He's absolutely cool. If you like art, you like Toho, and you like cool things, then go check him out. Harumi Snowcloud is the name of this OC, and it is a gender-bent version of an older model of his. I especially love the colors here. They remind me a lot of Aurora Borealis and other winter themes, which is cool. Get it? Haha, cool, winter, ice. I'm funny. Yeah. The clothes are also quite simple, which is nice for me because less details means less time spent on this. The glasses and the ears are such a nice touch here. They add a little bit of uniqueness, and there's also a nice symbol on her left eye, which I will probably be emphasizing that specific area or using it at a certain angle. So here we are, drawing the first OC, and one thing I definitely need to work on is spending less time on the sketch. I tend to hammer a lot of details in during the sketching phase, which is not really beneficial because I don't erase the sketch lines to make the line art, I just draw the line art completely over it. So I should probably not do this, and seeing as I can add it into the line art stage. The process is typical of how I just render everything. I start with the sketch and then move to the line art, then base colors, and then add the final rendering details. As you can see, you may have noticed that I switch the eyes around, whichever one is open and whichever one is closed. I realized that this is a bit of a problem in the end, and it looks a little off now, but by the time I figured it out, I kinda got lazy and I didn't want to use the liquify tool to fix it. So in hindsight, I should not have done this. I'm still really happy with how I ended up rendering the eyes though, because I've been inspired by an artist known as 58 or Opal58 on Twitter, and they have the most incredible eyes I've seen because they're always so detailed and I really like them. I'll probably keep doing it this way, but definitely simplify the details because I only have 3 hours to work on these, and at most times the smaller details will be lost when looking at a distance. Now, with the colors, you might see that I tend to use very bright colors, especially for most of my recent artworks. I'm still experimenting with it a lot, so the end results have pretty much been 50-50 on whether or not I like it. And I've also changed the line art color as well. Even if the results are mixed, I think for this one it at least looks better. To keep layering on the details, I mess around a lot with the layer properties that Clip Studio Paint has, which are always really fun to play around with to get a nice look. And after quite a while of messing around, I finally added some nice little halftones using this cool little brush I have. It's a fun way to have a little bit more detailing in, and I really like this technique, so I tend to use it a lot. Now, finally, I added a simple background with my professional graphic design skills, and here is the result. There are a lot of things I need to improve within this time frame. One, should not have messed around with the eye as much, definitely should have kept the first draft. Oh, silly me. The posing as well, definitely need to work on that. And finally, we gotta experiment more with the colors. I had lots of fun with them, so I gotta keep that up. The first one went pretty swell, but the second one, oh, this was so much fun to draw. This is Shrimpminatus, submitted by Drax on the Discord. And as you can see, this is not a human. It is clearly a shrimp. And it's got that muscle too. According to the information given, their personality is funny and silly, so I should give them a fun pose. You can also summon the arms that you see here, and it reminds me a lot of the stands from JoJo. I began doing the sketch as always, following the OC set, but I ended up asking if I could do this fun little idea. So I grabbed a shrimp off the internet and used it as reference, and same goes for the arm poses as well. If you're getting anything informative out of this video, here's my advice. You should always draw from some form of a reference, or at least until you're very confident in your abilities. It's the best way to practice. Things speed along, the line art, the base coloring, it's the same process that was there for the first one. But the details here is when it gets really fun. Now, Clip Studio Paint has an asset store, so I happen to have a lot of cool little and interesting brushes here. Scales is one of them, so a bit of this and a bit of that, and we got some nice details in. I also happen to have a lot of space-related brushes, so to have that galactic feel, rather than having it in the background, I made the body and arms look like they are celestial, or spacey in a sense. And by putting some nice shading in and messing around with the opacity, and doing some quick little designing for the background, we get this absolute beauty. The shrimp head was an absolute genius move on my part because it's so fun to look at and it's such a funny contrast for this piece. And Drax approved it, so I'd say it was an absolute success. If I were to improve this more, I would probably fix up the gold wings to make it look more gold, because I'm not really good at metallic objects, so it's definitely something I would need to improve on as well, and have more dynamic shading with it, because the shading here was a little simple, but it was fun, so I'm happy with it. This is Junpei Hiyori, submitted by Aspen on the Discord as well. He is a Vocaloid producer, which is very fun. The first one is drawn by Aspen's friend, but the other two were fun edits. I would say, in my interpretation, putting your OCs into fun stories is the greatest way to add some depth into them. And I believe the theme for this one was Project Sekai, because I believe that's where the Orange Boy comes from, and I totally do not play this game very often. So there's a lot of extra likes and dislikes, but due to the time constraints and my ability, or lack thereof, I probably won't be able to address much of it, although he likes cats, that's very cute. Now, the footage that I was recording for this got corrupted, so you're getting the video footage from my stream. You should go catch them live. I stream both here and on Twitch, which you'll find in the description below. I do variety content, so art, programming, gaming, and more. So please feel free to drop a follow there. Now, Junpei is a guy, and I kinda suck at drawing guys, mainly because I don't really draw them very often, so this is already a nice little challenge for me. The description also has Junpei be a quiet, introverted boy too, so I wanted to give them a soft boy look, so I avoided sharp edges for the face a lot, but his hair is messy, so I thought the sharper lines added to this little effect. I gave myself a bit of leeway for this one and added an extra hour to the clock, but I definitely still struggled a lot with the facial anatomy. Even more so because I decided to go from some lighting from the back, which I tend not to do. It was a little bit of a struggle to make it look like it worked, so it was a challenge to make this. But with gradual progress, I think the end result turned out okay. The colors, though, were quite an interesting thing to do. Due to the color scheme, it was a little awkward for me to do the colors extremely saturated without completely deviating from the original OC, but I added my coloring style the best that I could. Now the background was a pretty fun thing to do. Going back to the description that Aspen gave me, Junpei, being a quiet introverted boy, changes upon slipping into a virtual concert, not unlike the story from Project Sekai. I thought I would add a bit of this Project Sekai-ness into the background, so I added some similar shapes to it that you see in the game. I didn't record this part of the footage, but I missed some small little details, so I added the blush and then the moles afterwards. I also decided to go with another technique and use black shadows into it. I was thinking that by adding some harsh black shadows, it would be an interesting way to emphasize more of the brighter colors, despite me having less saturated coloring. So it's an experiment that I think I'll definitely be playing around with in the future. So here it is. It's a definite improvement from the first one already, and it's a sign that progress is being made, and a sign that I'm not as scuffed as I said I was. The little details and touches that I added towards the end definitely turned out quite nicely, so I'll probably add them in for the next time I do these. Well, there's 3 OCs, and I had a lot of fun doing them. I intend on keeping these types of videos up for a while, so if you would like to submit your own OCs, go join the Discord in the description and put them in the Draw OC channel. But please be aware you have to be over 16 though. I also have the guidelines mentioned and posted there as well, but here's an image in case you need it. I welcome Mecha, I welcome Furry, and Eldritch Horror is welcome as well. Just keep to the guidelines though, and you'll be fine. Now, I also have a Twitter tag, #RuiDrawsOC. Now, due to Twitter being on fire from recent events, I've not really been active on it, but you can post there, and I'll check it once in a blue moon, cause I'm not going to guarantee I can draw all of these. I am currently a university student that's kind of dying. You should also follow my other links though for cool art, namely my Pixiv, as well as Better Twitter, which is Blue Sky, which you should totally go check them out as well. It's really chill, and you will find awesome artists there as well. And finally, here's the little send-off, I have commissions open! If you're looking for VTubers, illustrations, and more, feel free to check out my VGen down below as well. This is the first type of scripted content in this style, so I would especially appreciate some feedback for this, and I would like some feedback and criticisms for my art. Constructive criticisms though, please and thank you. You're also free to share the art techniques as well in the comments down below or in the Discord, and share your art there as well. All in all, I'm really happy with this, and I hope to see you with the next one. I'll be back again, so I'll catch y'all later.